I was so nervous night one. That's why I was spilling drinks. That's why I just laugh when I get nervous.
We have to start with Salley. Can you tell me why you decided to offer her a rose? And do you think she made the right decision by not joining your journey?
Well, I'll address that first off at the end of that question. I think she followed her heart and did what she thought was best. So for that, I would say, if that was her decision, then I don't know. I mean, that's a question for her to be like, do you regret that decision? I don't know. But I think in that moment, she felt that was the right way to go about it, was to say, hey, listen, I'm not fully invested, or mentally, I'm not here 100%. So I have to walk away. I respected her decision. Why did I offer her a rose after she spills the beans and says I was supposed to get married today? I was previously engaged. I didn't see that as a red flag. And the reason behind that is because, again, people saw a 2-minute conversation or whatever on TV, but we talked for over an hour. And you got to remember or keep this in mind. She came to me, instead of just going home, she showed up to my hotel room. And it's why would she do that? Well, because I think in my eyes, I saw, and as we started talking, I'm like, she's not fully decided as far as whether or not she's leaving. And then that's what she expressed to me. She's like, you know what? I came here thinking I was over it. I'm not sure now, but meeting you makes me feel like maybe I am, I can look past that. And so I really liked what I saw of her. She was very genuine, cute. Again, for first impression, I liked what I saw. And so I thought, hey, if I give her a rose, basically then she can go into night one in a relaxed mindset, not as fearful, not as nervous. And maybe after a few days, she'll be able to kind of move beyond that state of mind that she was in.
Is there any truth or tease to the speculation that maybe we saw that because we'll see Salley again, or is that the last we've seen of Salley?
That's the big question I've heard multiple times today. And as far as whether or not she comes back, guess what I'm going to say? Everyone's going to have to wait to tune in.
Perfect. Let's talk about Claire. What was it like watching that back and maybe seeing that she kind of downplayed some of the things she said about you?
Yeah, well, that's, again, last night for me, seeing that playback put it really into perspective how I'm like, okay, again, all throughout my journey, I had women come and talk to me about here's what's happening, here's conflict. And I had to take their word for it. But then there was another side of the story, right? So the other side of the story, when another woman would come in and say, well, this is what happened. Now I get to see what happened. And last night showed me that, yeah, she's like, Serene tells me, hey, she said she hated you. I'm like, oh. And I go sit down with Claire and she's like, I don't hate you. I was like, okay. Now I saw last night, I was like, no, you used the word, you did. So do I think she actually hates me? I mean, I hope not. To meet me after 10 minutes, hate somebody is pretty crazy. I mean, that's a huge major word that holds a lot of weight. But I think she was definitely disappointed that night. I think that she didn't feel the connection. So that's why, it was best for her to leave. And for that, it was just the right decision to make.